There is a plastic pot sitting on the north end of my balcony right now. That end of the balcony gets maybe 3 hours of weak morning sun, and then it sits in shade for the rest of the day. For 2 years, I treated that end like dead space. It held a folding chair and a bag of potting soil, and that was it. Today, that same pot is holding a rainbow chard plant with stems the color of candy, and I've been cutting dinner off of it for 4 straight months. Same shade, same spot. Nothing about the light changed. What changed was what I planted there, because here's what nobody told me when I started. There is a whole family of vegetables that does not just put up with shade. They actually prefer it. Today, I am going to walk you through 10 of them, one by one, and every single one works in a pot, on a balcony, on a windowsill, or in the shadiest corner of a backyard. And stay with me all the way to the end, because the reason my shade-grown lettuce tastes sweeter than anything at the grocery store comes down to one specific thing direct sun does inside a leaf. Nobody ever explains it, and once you hear it, shade stops looking like a problem and starts looking like an advantage. I'm Jake, though most folks know me as Backyard Buddy. 3 years ago, I was the guy who killed houseplants, and then a bunch of green onion ends I tossed at the trash can missed, landed in a glass of water on the counter, and sprouted. Since then, I have regrown hundreds of plants from kitchen scraps on my windowsills and balcony, and my grocery bill has dropped by nearly a third. My neighbor Gloria, a retired school teacher 2 floors up, taught me half of what I know, and she has been growing food on her shady balcony for 20 years. Now, before we get to plant number 1, I want to clear up the myth that almost kept me from ever using that dark end of my balcony. Every seed packet at the garden center says, full sun, full sun, full sun. Full sun means 6 to 8 hours of direct light. So folks with a shady spot read that and give up. But that label only applies to fruiting crops. Tomatoes, peppers, squash, melons, anything where you eat the fruit, those really do need the sun to ripen. Vegetables where you eat the leaf or the root are a different animal entirely. Leaves and roots grow just fine on 3 to 4 hours of light. That is the whole rule. Fruit needs sun, leaves and roots handle shade. So step 1, before you plant anything, spend 1 day watching your spot. Check it in the morning, check it at noon, check it in the late afternoon. Count the hours of direct light. If you get 3 to 4 hours, every plant on today's list will grow for you. And keep that lettuce promise in the back of your mind, because what the sun does to a leaf is the reason this whole list exists. Now, every one of the 10 vegetables I'm about to show you has its own page in a book I put together called The 30-Day Kitchen Scrap Garden Protocol. 0 waste, 0 experience, free food. It is 172 pages, and it is the complete 30-day plan for turning the scraps your kitchen already throws away into growing food. It covers 31 different crops you can regrow, each one with its own plain instructions. It includes the $10 starter kit, which is everything you need, gathered mostly from things you already own. It walks you day by day from your first glass of water on the windowsill to your first harvests, and there's a full troubleshooting section for when a scrap sulks on you. I wrote it for absolute beginners, no yard, no experience, close to no budget, because that was me 3 years ago. It is $17 right now, marked down from $47, and against a grocery bill that drops every single week after, that math takes care of itself. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time, there is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. All right, let's get growing. Number 1, green onions. I had to start here Because a glass of water on a windowsill is the whole starting line, and green onions are the plant that started everything for me. Next time you buy a bunch, do not throw the white root ends away. Cut them so you keep about 1 inch of the white end with the little roots attached. That is, 1 inch, no more needed. Stand those ends root down in a small glass. Add water until just the roots and the bottom ½ inch are covered. Set the glass on any windowsill, and shade is completely fine because green onions are one of the most shade-tolerant plants in the kitchen. Change the water every 2 days so it stays fresh. In 3 days, you will see bright green shoots. In 10 to 14 days, you will be cutting fresh green onion for dinner. If you want them to keep going for months, tuck the rooted ends into a small pot of soil and water when the top inch feels dry. One bunch costs about $1.99 at my store. Regrown on the windowsill, that same bunch keeps producing over and over. That's not garbage. That's groceries. Number 2, lettuce. And this one has a direct line to that promise I made you at the start, so hold that thought. Loose-leaf lettuce varieties are the shade champions, the frilly green and red kinds, not the tight iceberg heads. Sow the seeds in a container at least 6 inches deep. Scatter them thin, cover with a 1/4 inch of soil, and keep the soil moist like a wrung-out sponge. 3 to 4 hours of morning sun is genuinely all lettuce wants. You can also regrow romaine free from your kitchen. Cut the base off a store romaine heart, keeping about 2 inches. Stand that base in ½ inch of water on the windowsill and change the water every other day. In a week, you will have new leaves rising out of the center like a little green fountain. Harvest lettuce leaf by leaf from the outside, and the plant keeps producing from the middle for weeks. Gardeners call that cut and come again, which just means the plant refills the salad bowl for you. Number 3, radishes. If you are brand new and you want to win fast, this is your plant. Radishes go from seed to harvest in 25 to 30 days, even in part shade. Any container 6 inches deep works, and an old dishpan with holes poked in the bottom is perfect. Plant the seeds ½ inch deep. Space them 1 inch apart, and that spacing matters, so I will say it again, 1 inch apart, because crowded radishes grow all leaf and no root. Keep the soil evenly damp. In under a month, you pull up round red radishes like little buried treasures. And do not toss the leafy tops because radish greens cook up like spinach in a hot skillet with a bit of oil. 2 harvests from 1 seed packet that costs about $2. If I can do this, I promise you can. Number 4, spinach. Spinach does not just tolerate shade, it genuinely resents hot sun. In a bright July spot, spinach panics, shoots up a flower stalk, and turns bitter almost overnight. In a cool, shaded spot, it stays calm and keeps making leaves. Use a pot at least 8 inches deep. Sow seeds ½ inch deep and 2 inches apart. Water so the soil never fully dries out. When the plants have 6 or more leaves, harvest the big outer leaves and leave the small center leaves alone. 1 instruction at a time, outer leaves off, center leaves stay. Do that, and each plant feeds you for weeks instead of once. A bag of baby spinach runs me around $4 at the store. A pot on the shady side of the balcony makes that bag over and over, and we are getting close to the reason shade leaves taste better, I promise. Number 5, potatoes. This is my favorite one on the whole list, and it starts with something you have probably thrown away a dozen times, a potato that's sprouted in the pantry. Those pale sprouts poking out of the eyes are not a sign the potato is ruined. They are the plant trying to start. Letting a potato sprout on purpose is called chitting, which is just a fancy word for waiting. Here is the whole method. Take a 5-gallon bucket. Drill or punch drainage holes in the bottom and do not skip the holes. Add 6 inches of potting soil. Set 2 sprouted potatoes on the soil with the sprouts pointing up. Cover them with 3 more inches of soil. Water them in. As green stems rise, keep adding soil around them a few inches at a time, and that is called hilling up, because new potatoes form along the buried stem. My spot gets 3 to 4 hours of sun, and the plants do fine. The yield runs a little smaller than a full-sun garden, and I will be straight with you about that. But you are turning trash into a harvest. In about 90 days, when the plants yellow and flop, comes the best moment in all of gardening. Tip the bucket over onto a spread-out sheet of newspaper. Dig through the soil with your bare hands. Golden and purple potatoes come rolling out like you buried treasure back in spring, because you did. Gloria grows hers in 5-gallon buckets lined along her balcony wall, and she has done it that way for 20 years. Number 6. Peas. Sugar snap peas are a cool weather crop, and cool is exactly what a shady spot gives you. Soak the seeds in a cup of water for 24 hours before planting, because that head start matters. Plant them 1 inch deep and 2 inches apart in a container at least 8 inches deep. Give them something to climb. A few strings tied up a balcony railing works perfectly, and the vines will find those strings on their own, which never stops amazing me. Keep them watered, and in about 60 days, you are picking sweet pods you can eat right off the vine. No cooking required. Fresh sugar snaps at my grocery store run close to $5 a pound. On the railing, they are close to free. Number 7. Beets. I will be honest with you on this one too, because you deserve the truth over a sales pitch. In part shade, the beetroot underground grows a bit smaller than it would in full sun. But the greens on top grow beautifully, and beet greens are the part half the country throws away without ever tasting. Sow beet seeds 1/2 inch deep and 3 inches apart in a pot 10 inches deep. Thin the seedlings because each beet seed is actually a little cluster. Harvest greens sparingly while the root sizes up. And here's the kitchen scrap bonus. Cut the top inch off a store-bought beet, set it cut-side down in a shallow dish of water on the windowsill, and in days it pushes out a fresh crop of tender greens from a scrap that was headed for the trash. Number 8. Celery. If green onions were my first love, celery was my second, because it might be the single best kitchen scrap regrower there is. Cut 2 inches off the base of a store celery bunch. That is the part everybody throws away. Set that base in a shallow dish with 1/2 inch of water, cut side up. Put it on the windowsill and change the water every other day. In 5 to 7 days, tiny yellow-green leaves rise from the very center, and I still grin every time. After 2 weeks, plant the base in soil with just the new growth showing. Now here is why celery belongs on a shade list. Celery is a marsh plant by nature. It wants cool temperatures and constant moisture, and hot, direct sun makes the stalks thin, stringy, and bitter. A shady corner with steady water gives you tender stalks and a steady supply of celery leaves for soup from a base that cost you nothing. Number 9. Beans, specifically bush beans and scarlet runner beans, the ones with those bright red-orange flowers that look like little flames on the vine. Beans are the sun-lovingest plant on today's list, so let me set honest expectations. In 3 to 4 hours of sun, they will produce just fewer pods than a full-sun plant, and runner beans handle part shade and cool weather better than almost any other bean. Plant the seeds 1 inch deep and 3 inches apart in a pot at least 8 inches deep. Give runner beans strings or a trellis to climb, and they will cover a shady railing in flowers so pretty the hummingbirds found my balcony before I did. Pick the pods young and slim, and picking actually tells the plant to make more. Even a modest bean patch beats an empty corner holding a folding chair. I would know. Number 10. Swiss chard. We end at the plant from the very beginning of this video. That rainbow chard sitting in the pot on the dark north end of my balcony. Chard is spinach's tougher cousin, and it shrugs off shade, cool snaps, and beginner mistakes alike. Sow seeds 1/2 inch deep and 4 inches apart in a pot at least 8 inches deep. Thin to the strongest seedlings. Then harvest exactly like lettuce and spinach, outer stalks off, center stays. Do that one simple thing, and a single planting produces for 4, 5, even 6 months. The stems come up gold, pink, crimson, and white. And folks stop to ask about it like it is a flower arrangement. It is not. It is dinner on repeat from the spot I once called dead space, and that brings us to the part I promised you at the start. Why does my shade-grown lettuce taste sweeter than anything from the store? Here is what direct sun actually does inside a leaf. Strong sun heats the leaf itself, and for a cool weather plant like lettuce, spinach, or chard, that heat reads as an emergency. The plant decides its growing season is ending, and it flips into survival mode. It stops putting energy into leaves and races to send up a flower stalk and make seed, and that racing is what gardeners call bolting. At the same time, the stressed plant pumps a bitter, milky white sap through its leaves, and that sap is the plant's natural defense. You have tasted it, that sharp bitterness in midsummer lettuce. So a leaf in hot sun is a leaf full of bitter sap on a plant that is quit growing. A leaf in cool shade is the opposite. The plant stays relaxed, keeps its energy in the leaves, and keeps its natural sugars right where you want them, in your salad bowl. Tender, sweet, and producing for months. That is the whole mechanism. Shade does not merely spare these plants. For every leafy vegetable on this list, shade is what keeps them sweet. Your shadiest spot is not your worst growing space. For half the vegetable kingdom, it is your best one. And that is the whole idea behind everything I do, one scrap and one pot at a time. The book walks you through 31 crops exactly like these, day by day, starting with stuff that is sitting in your kitchen tonight. The 30-day kitchen scrap garden protocol is $17, down from $47 one time. And my own grocery bill, dropping by nearly a third every month since, is the honest return on it. If today showed you what a shady corner can do, the book shows you what your whole kitchen can do. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time. There is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. So there it is. 10 vegetables that love the shade, a bucket of potatoes from your pantry, and the real reason shade-grown greens taste sweeter. Now tell me in the comments the first one you're going to plant in your shady spot, or the one you have already got going on the windowsill. I read every single one. And next time, I'm going to show you the 5 kitchen scraps that regrow fastest in nothing but a glass of water, including one that gives you a harvest in under 2 weeks flat. Don't throw it away, grow it. I'll see you next time, buddy.